From every mountainside let freedom ring. Oh, you caught me being patriotic here. Why would I be patriotic? Because this is the 4th of July, America's birthday. And this is the Sometimes Vlog. It's a vlog that happens sometimes. Happy 4th of July, everybody. America's birthday. The anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence at Independence Hall in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, the first capital of the United States of America. Of course, we're not actually in Philadelphia. We're actually in sunny, beautiful Southern California with quite a strong ocean breeze blowing. So hopefully you can hear me over all the wind and the traffic from Beach Boulevard, the beach boulevard that goes all the way down to the beach where that ocean breeze is coming from in Buena Park, California at Knott's Berry Farm, where Walter Knott, the strange and unusual character who, well, didn't create, but helped promote the boysenberry and had a very successful berry farm over here and a very successful chicken dinner restaurant, which I've talked about on Random Land before, where Walter Knott, out of nothing but patriotism and love for his country and, you know, wanting to spread the joy and teach kids, local area children, about the history of the United States, built this Independence Hall replica, a brick-for-brick replica of Independence Hall in Philadelphia. Although in Philadelphia there's actually buildings on either side of Independence Hall. They're attached by these little wings. It doesn't matter. Anyway, this part is a brick-for-brick replica. As a matter of fact, when they restored the real Independence Hall in Philadelphia, they actually came to study Walter Knott's replica to make sure they got it right. And the movie National Treasure used this replica to film inside of, since you obviously can't film inside of the actual historic, real Independence Hall. Right there, July 2nd, 1776, the Continental Congress, the Second Continental Congress, as a matter of fact, approved the, I think so. If I say anything wrong, forgive me. Okay, I didn't have time to build the vlog to scale or to paint it. There's no script here, people, working without a net. July 2nd, 1776, the Continental Congress approved the Declaration of Independence. They voted on it and said, yes, we vote for independence. Someone better open up a window. No, too many flies, because it's hot as H-E-double hockey sticks in Philadelphia. You guys ever watched the musical 1776? It's literally amazing. The one that has Mr. Feeney in it as John Adams, that's neither here nor there. What is here is this giant replica of Independence Hall, and I can't even remember what I was saying about it. July 2nd, 1776, the Continental Congress approved our independence from England and voted yes on the Declaration of Independence. And then July 4th is the day they signed it and the day we celebrate the signing of the Declaration of Independence. So July 4th is sort of the de facto day we celebrate America's birthday, even though really the United States of America didn't technically come into being until the signing or the ratification of the Constitution of 1789. It doesn't matter. What really matters is July 4th, 1776. This is a day we celebrate our country and how cool it is to live here. I'm not one of those people that thinks America's perfect. I understand that there are horrible, crazy things in our history. We have crazy big issues to deal with, like slavery and the Trail of Tears and horrible things. But like I was saying on Instagram this morning, you wouldn't point out all of your sister's flaws on her birthday. And so today, July 4th, 2015, a day which will live in infamy as the day we celebrated America, our country. We're not going to point out all of America's flaws. We're just going to be stoked that we get to live here. And for all of you in Australia, and New Zealand, and England, and all the other places that watch these vlogs, hello! Sorry to just stick my flag out and love my country, but I do actually like this country. I have been to a lot of states. The only states I haven't been to in the United States are New Hampshire, Vermont, Maine, Alaska, Montana, North and South Dakota. I've been to every other state in the Union, which is at least a good 80% of the United States. And spoiler alert, the United States is pretty cool. Have you ever actually read the Constitution? The Constitution is a pretty cool, pretty easy to understand, pretty straightforward, pretty easy for everyone to agree upon document. And I love the inside of Walter Knott's replica of Independence Hall. It is pretty bangarang. And another thing that's pretty bangarang is this, a perfect replica of the Liberty Bell. It even has the crack in it. Oh my gosh, they're doing crack here. But another thing that's really bangarang is this. It's Allie. Hi. You're so far away. Do you love liberty and America? She does. Can you just, I'm gonna send lightning hands your way. Just because it looks cool on the thing. Ah! You gotta do it back though, or else. So you're like, somebody Photoshop lightning in there. We're celebrating America. With lightning and fireworks. Photoshop that into something American. Look at this, they're doing crack. Oh my gosh, this bell's been doing crack. I just want you to be safe and healthy. This is an intervention for this bell here. Look at the crack in the bell, it looks so perfect. Look at this perfect, ooh. I wonder what they would do if I rang the Liberty Bell in here. I don't think I better attempt it though. I would probably get escorted off the property, and I don't want to be escorted off the property because I really like this place. Look at this. Ooh, dedicated to the supreme architect, upon whose plan master builders brought forth a new nation. Pretty sure that's referring to God. I'm not sure if that's in the real Independence Hall or just in Walter Knott's replica. Look at this though. Walter Knott's also stashed some other crazy Knott's Berry Farm things. He loved to collect old historical things, and he loved to wedge them into Knott's Berry Farm and into Independence Hall and anywhere he could. So here's a 17th century Italian harpsichord, which is cool. Not sure what it has to do with the signing of the Declaration of Independence, but here it is. Also, I'm being kind of loud, so I have to be kind of quiet now. This in here, not only can you push a button to hear about the history of the Liberty Bell. Did you push the button? Did you like it? Did you learn a lot? Did you learn a lot about independence and bells, mostly? How did the crack get in it? Did you even hear? Okay, well, it's like really echoey when they play this thing, but we'll learn about the crack some other time. Right now, that's neither here nor there. We don't want to teach the children about crack. But look at in here. So this is a perfect replica. I've been in the real Independence Hall. On the one side, we have the room in which they argued over whether or not they should sign the Declaration of Independence, and then of course eventually did. And in this room, I have to be quiet because I'm having a little show.
Sirs, before God, I believe the hour has come. My judgment approves this measure.
They have a little show. Listen. You can see the light on the pins. I'll tell you about that. Little pens light up for whoever's supposed to be speaking. So if John Adams is speaking, a little pen lights up at his desk, and it's all set up the way they really would have been set up in Independence Hall. So you can see, here's the show. Knott's Berry Farm proudly presents A Storm in Philadelphia, July 1776, the making of the Declaration of Independence. So it's a documentary. It's behind the scenes. A sight and sound experience designed to remind you of our American heritage and honor the memory of those 56 brave men who signed the Declaration document. Remember, these guys risked their whole, everyone's leaving the show. These guys risked their whole lives signing this thing, because if the British had caught any of the men who signed the Declaration of Independence, they would have been totally hindbucked. Completely hindbucked. So these brave souls put their lives on the line. Now it paid off for them, because of course they were the founding fathers of a new country. So I'm pretty sure they had like VIP clubs and probably got to do whatever they wanted, like just hang out and skateboard in Independence Hall or do whatever, because they're like, I started this country, I could do whatever I want. So there were perks, but at the time it was pretty sketchy and dangerous. And this is the other chamber, which they did a lot of historic stuff and Constitution things. So in the real Independence Hall, there's a whole room that looks kind of like that over on this side as well. But for the Knott's Berry Farm, celebrating the Declaration of Independence purposes of Independence Hall, they have this side. It's sort of a museum and a gift shop. So there's all kinds of other weird Walter Knott things. Like there's this carriage in here, which I cannot remember the significance of at the moment. And there's all kinds of replica flags. We got a portrait of John Adams here, which is very fitting for a place like this. Just an old antique writing desk, a clock from the 1790s donated to Walter Knott for display at Independence Hall by Miss Alice Jamison Hill of Seal Beach. Doesn't really, it's just nice. It's just a nice thing to see. Look at this There's also busts of, here we have Thomas Jefferson, busts of some of the founding fathers, some commemorative coins. You can buy those cool parchment Declaration of Independences here. When I was a kid, we used to do field trips here because I grew up in Orange County. I went to Disney Elementary School right down the street. So we used to, of course, do all kinds of field trips to the Independence Hall here and learn about the force, Luke, also our country. But they have all kinds of interesting artifacts and documents. One of my favorite things here is this version of Betsy Ross and George Washington. I don't know what you call it, mannequins, dummies. This dummy George Washington. Look at his face. That's one of my favorite things because it really kind of does look like George Washington. And of course, he's got the white wig and it kind of looks askew. I'm going to stick the camera right up close to it. It kind of looks askew, like a real, like it's about to fall off. And look at this. Hey, George. Hey, buddy. Look how the wig's kind of coming off and you can see his natural hair underneath. Pretty crazy. You scared me because I thought you were still in the other room and you just crept up on me like, don't creep up on me when I'm admiring George Washington. You'll traumatize me. Look at Betsy Ross. She was one heck of a looker. I wonder who did her eyebrows. Go to that salon, probably. Look at, she's making the flag. She's making the Star-Spangled Banner right here. June 10, 1776, the committee called on Betsy Ross, who operated an upholstery shop in Pennsylvania. I've been there. Look at this. I'm getting distracted by the Betsy Ross thing. But I've been to that house in Philadelphia as well. Very cool stuff. And then they have this, a little statue of the Declaration of Independence. Is it nice? Listen to that show, it's going crazy. It's pretty inspiring stuff. You want to watch it? We'll watch it right after this. It is very cool. Adam the Woo and I did a meetup here once, and the reason we did the meetup here is because we figured everyone could watch the show about the Declaration of Independence, and we wouldn't all just be standing there looking at each other before. There's actually a Facebook group called Random Land Forever in which people are trying to argue about where we should do a meetup. So if you have any opinions on that, maybe go over and join the Facebook group Random Land Forever. Look at this. This is my favorite thing. Here we go. We have Betsy Ross's original United States flag. Look at that. 13 stars and 13 stripes. Isn't that awesome? Look at this. Look how patriotic I look. Like this. Allie, come here really quick. I'm distracting her from her post. We need to stand like this. Just come in. You gotta put your hands on your... You're too short, we'll stand closer then. That's the illusion. Forced perspective, like this, like... America. You gotta give an America pose. That's your America. Like when we hold apples. I wish I had an apple. I don't know why. Just for teaching purposes, I wish I had an apple. Like, keep the doctor away. Also, look at this. We have all kinds of postcards here of all the presidents. Now, which president do you think would be the most popular and his postcard is never in stock? Which one would you guess? John F. Kennedy, probably, because if you've ever seen the vlog where... Abraham Lincoln, ooh, that's a good guess. If you've ever seen the vlog where Allie and I went to Shields in Reno, we met a lot of presidents there. It was actually pretty fun. Harry Truman was weird looking. The president that's the most... Abraham Lincoln would be a good guess, but nope, there he is. Old Abe. The president that is always missing from Knott's Berry Farm, that is the most popular, not Barack Obama, not Abraham Lincoln, not John Adams or Jimmy Carter or any of those other popular presidents. Jimmy Carter popular? I don't know. Ronald Reagan or anything. It's actually George W. Bush. They never have his postcard here. You're always sold out of George W. Bush postcards. He must be a very much more popular president than I ever imagined because he's never here. Always sold out. George W. Bush. Turns out at Knott's Berry Farm, very popular. Look at this. This is one of my favorites. The British Redcoat here. The British Redcoat. No wonder these guys lost. Look at them. Hello, it's me, the British Redcoat. I have a giant target across my stomach with these white straps on my red coat. Well, technically, too, the U.S. soldiers fought pretty dirty in the Revolutionary War. We like to sneak around. We pulled off some stuff on Long Island that impresses me to this day. Mostly retreating. We did a lot of retreating and stalling while France came to the rescue and sort of helped us create a country. That's a whole difference. If you've ever actually read the book, I highly recommend this. There's a book called 1776. Just Google it. The first book that pops up is probably the one I'm talking about. Great book. You hear that? America. Oh, I should have been standing in front of this while that happened. I ruined it, Allie. Anyway, we're here learning about America and chilling with old Benjamin Franklin. Tyler and I also wrote some scripts and did some filming here with good old Byron Sin a long time ago. So we used to film some historical skits and things here. So we've had a lot of fun in Independence Hall over the years. Look at these. See, here we have some artifacts and replica artifacts and carvings and weird gifts to Knott's Berry Farm. So there's all kinds of unusual things. What are you looking at for so long over here?
This penny. How'd it get in here?
Let me look at that. Let me see that. Show that. There's a penny in a bottle. Look it even says right on there. There's Lincoln, because that's exactly what he looks like. How did I get in this bottle? What is that?
It's so tiny.
Oh my gosh, it's like you. It's a tiny declaration. It's an alley-sized Declaration of Independence in a bottle. Look it. Message in a bottle, yeah. Right, because the 80s? No? That's cool. That's fine. Look at this. Penny in a bottle. How did they get the penny in the bottle? Somebody tell me how they got the penny. They didn't get it through that hole. Did they build the bottle around the penny? Did they shrink the penny? Did they shrink the bottle? How did they do that? I like how there's a whole company called Lucky Bottle Collectibles. There's a whole company somewhere with a boardroom and financial officers, and all they do is create souvenirs in bottles, apparently. Wherever that company is, Lucky Bottle Collectibles, wherever you are, made in the USA, so somewhere close. That's good, made in the USA with our pennies. I hope so. I hope we're not shipping our pennies to China to make these. Wherever you are, company, I want to go to you. I want to see how that company works. I want to work for that company. The miniature stuff in bottles company. Look at this. Here you have a little one. How cute. Philadelphia. Or they should make one that says Buena Park. Just because everyone loves Buena Park so much. And then there's little bells. It's so cute. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Look at the big quarter. Oh my gosh. You need that giant quarter. That's pretty much what that look is. I was gonna make a joke about how you're short and tiny and how that's how you always look when you hold quarters. That's a regular size quarter. Allie's just really small. You look even smaller than normal because I'm always holding the camera way up here, so you always look like you're like, hey, like you look really small, but you're not actually as small as you look. Look at this giant dime. Look at this giant dime. You know who that president is right there? That's the sexiest president. John Fitzgerald Kennedy. I think it's actually a $50, not a dime, because the dime doesn't have JFK on it. What am I thinking about? I can't even think. I'm too full of America. There's so much America going on in my mind that I'm just confused. Look at that eagle. Look at, we need that. There's also a lot of stuff about Abraham Lincoln here, which is good, because Abraham Lincoln is cool. There, you want it? It's the Declaration of Independence.
It's like your national treasure.
It is like the one in National Treasure, which was filmed in this building. Like I said, are you a big Nicolas Cage fan? Why? Because he looks cool?
His face is funny. They make a lot of memes of him.
His face is funny, and they make a lot of memes of him. This is what I was pointing at a second ago. Look at that. Please hold that up next to your face. This is the cutest thing that's ever happened in this country.
It's so cute.
You have to hold it up again. Hold it up. This is the cutest thing. This is right here is the cutest picture of America. Look at this. Look at all this. I like the little Benjamin Franklin looking teddy bear. And look at the little Betsy Ross there. Look at there's little teddy bear. I feel like my Aunt Tina would really like it. And there's this. What is that? What do you think it is? I don't think he's doing anything. He just wants to be squeezed. He's just a fan of hugging. Or it's a raccoon, bear, panda, American treasure. What are you? Stop confusing me.
It's one of those things from Madagascar. I forget the name.
Oh, a lemur?
Yeah.
Oh, it is making sound. Can you hear that? It's making like kind of the same sound as that show. Like a brr, 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 brr. God save the Queen. Wait, that's the wrong song. My country 'tis. They also have a McGuffey's Eclectic Spelling Book, so you can learn to spell. Oh, look it. Well, you should sing the song. Everyone is a better singer than me.
You don't want me to sing. My last name is Cash, but I can't sing.
His last name is Cash, and you should definitely sing it. My country 'tis.
He's actually my great uncle.
Johnny Cash is your great uncle? Danny, that is the coolest thing I've ever
I used to be his
heard.
bodyguard every time he did a concert here in California.
Are you kidding me?
And how we actually met is I was on R&R from the Air Force, And my mom told me to get out of the house, so I went to the LA Fairgrounds and was a bouncer at the Country Western Bar. And he walked in one day, read my name badge, and says, "I need a bodyguard while I'm in town. Did I want to do it?" And I said, "Sure, as long as my boss says it's okay." So I turned around, and he went over and talked to my boss, and my boss said, "Sure, Mr. Cash."
And then it ended up that you were actually related to each other?
Yes.
That is the
During
coolest story
high
I've ever heard.
During high school, I did our genealogy, found out we were related, so...
See,
Yep.
I came here because it's July 4th, America's birthday. I wanted to talk about the founding of the country, and now you're talking about the ultimate American who you're related. Now I'm going to touch you because you touched Johnny Cash. The power has been passed on to me now, Danny.
Here's the evidence.
Oh, I'm looking at his ID. I'm not going to show you, but Dan Cash. Oh, okay, look at Dan Cash.
Oh, it's on there somewhere.
We did it. Danny Cash. That's the most amazing thing I've ever heard. Next to being related to George Washington, that's pretty much the ultimate American thing ever. So you can't sing, though.
No, I can't sing.
Darn it. I was hoping to have Johnny Cash's
Nope, I was actually...
nephew, cousin.
I went back into the Air Force after R&R. I was an instructor in the A-10 Warthog and in the F-4 Phantom. And actually went in as a captain, came out a major.
Did you shoot things with them?
Nope, I was an instructor.
Oh, that's still awesome. That means you're a veteran.
Yep.
Which, thank you for your service. Look, we're thanking a veteran. I gotta shake your hand. We're thanking a veteran at the same time, who's also related to Johnny Cash, inside of a replica of Independence Hall on the 4th of July.
The only exact replica of...
The only brick-for-brick replica, right? See, and they...
There's exactly 120,000 bricks in this building. There's exactly 120,000 bricks in the original building.
Didn't they, when they were restoring the original building, didn't they come here to look at how Walter Knott built his?
Last week
They came again?
They lost their original blueprints that they actually had. And we're not talking about the ones that it's in the archives. We're talking about their copy.
Yeah.
And so they had been making copies for all different kinds of schools and that, and somehow they lost their copy. So they
Those
actually
silly
came here
gooses.
and re-measured our building, and actually we sent our copy out to be copied before they'd have another copy.
Told ya. Independence Hall, Knott's Berry Farm is teaching America how to do their thing. And you can get an authentic quill pen, which is something that everybody needs. Every father on Father's Day will want that. So we just talked to a relative of Johnny Cash's.
We got to give you the rest of this. Okay.
Oh, wait, what's the rest of it?
Okay, you've seen National Treasure.
Yes.
Okay, they filmed 2 of the scenes here.
Right, we were just talking about that. Which are the 2?
Okay.
One is going up the staircase.
Yep.
And what's the other one?
The other one is when he walks into the library and he actually rolls out the Declaration of Independence and he puts the glasses on and he starts flipping the lenses.
Right,
That was done in our delegation room.
Really?
Yep.
So that was the
They
library
actually
was in here?
They moved the barrier out, they moved the stadium seating out, they put all the tables and chairs exactly where they're supposed to be.
I didn't know
and
that.
they filmed that part in there.
I didn't know that. So there you go. Well, thank you very much, Danny, for your time and everything else. We thank the veteran who's related to Johnny Cash, the ultimate American, inside of a replica of Independence Hall, where once Nicolas Cage was, who was once married to Elvis's daughter, so also the king of rock and roll just got, involved somehow, in front of a giant American flag. And we did, I think we just won the 4th of July. High five. We did it, nailed it. We've done our duty. We can go home and sleep well. Happy birthday, America. I love you guys. Goodbye.